Hello, everyone. Welcome another episode of Small Talk. Well, with me today in my Zoom room is today's guest, Linda Drummond. Sorry about that, Linda. She's here because she's an author of this book, just come out, Gypsy Tarot Spread. Okay. This is one of these interviews you're going to want to watch to the very end because Linda has something very special for you. So, Linda, tell me about your book.
Well, I'm 71 years old. I had a heart attack last year, and I had written for years and collected information and wrote a book.
Okay.
So I decided I was going to get it published.
Yeah.
There's no use waiting, right?
I agree, yes.
And for the simple reason that this is one of the longest and most comprehensive readings there is. And there's no other book out there for this reading.
Okay.
And it's very hard to get to learn, but I've broken it down into steps very carefully for anyone that wants to learn it.
Okay, so it's how to learn to read tarot.
That's right.
Okay. So it's basically like a step-by-step or a tutorial, whatever you want to call it.
Step by step. It's actually really pretty easy when you break it down.
Right.
First of all, you're looking, when you're dealing out the cards, you look for major arcana. And if you get too many in a line, you know that someone's making a decision that controls you. Then you look for the people who might be doing this.
But let's go back to the beginning. You decide you're going to do tarot reading. Now you need tarot cards. How do you choose your tarot cards? Because there's so many different kinds out there.
Well, I have chosen the Rider-Waite cards.
Okay.
And the reason I have done that is because every card has a person on it. Every single card has a person on it. And my method of reading is called a synergy method, and it's about people. There is not a question that anyone has ever come to me with that didn't include people.
Right, yeah.
Every question.
Yeah.
Career, love, family issues, it all concerns people. So why wouldn't you gravitate towards the cards with the people on them?
Right.
I mean, there's some beautiful decks out there.
Yes.
And you could certainly try to read them with this book. I'm not sure that it would work as well as with the Rider-Waite deck. Rider-Waite has been around forever. It's the most popular deck. Most people have it. And so it becomes easy for people.
Okay, one of the things I noticed when I used to do readings, when I look for a deck, they're always so wrapped up that you couldn't see what they were. You know, you couldn't see the individual. They would show you a picture on the back of one card. So it's nice that you brought the cards because people can actually have a look at the Rider deck. I just shortened it to Rider deck, and you can actually see the cards, right? Or they can look online and to see what the cards look like.
Exactly. There's lots of pictures of them. Just all you have to search on any search engine is pictures of tarot cards, and you can see a Rider-Waite tarot cards, and
Yes,
it'll bring lots of pictures up.
So why write the book? What's the purpose of?
Well,
or what inspired you? Sorry,
I don't want my knowledge to be gone when I die. I mean, I'll be dead in another 20 years, and it took me a lifetime to get this knowledge together and to write this book and put it into words. Putting it into words is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
So that people will understand. The editors learned a lot while they were editing this book because they had no idea what tarot was.
Right. Was that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you first start doing tarot, reading for people?
I was 25.
Were you?
Yeah. Somebody handed me a set of tarot cards and said, this is what I do, and this is fun. And
it is fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
I have also helped a lot of people. Someone that didn't know he had a son.
Okay.
This kid kept showing up in his reading. And he went to the phone and he phoned long distance to where he knew the mother was, got the phone number, phoned her, and his child answered.
Oh my goodness.
About the right age to be his son. And yes, it turned out to be his son.
Wow.
So
wow.
I saw that in the cards.
Yeah, I just wanted, now I see that, this is really nice, because I see that you have pictures in here. I just wanted to show the audience a little bit more like inside. It's hard to show you on this camera here, but you can see
It's
the
true.
card, she has a card, and then it explains what the card is.
Yeah. Every card has its own page.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
And there's all kinds of little hints in here. Say, for instance, this card here is a card that mean you're traveling away from troubles.
Mhm.
But it could also mean travel over water. I did have at one point someone that it was a reversed six of swords, and
Reverse meaning it's upside down, right?
upside down. Travel plans had been canceled,
Right,
and it was travel over to Victoria Island. So
okay,
you know, that gets pretty close.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they said, at first she wasn't putting anything into the card. She wanted to see if it was phony, right? And then when she put herself into the cards, then she said that a trip had been canceled over to the island.
Is there a different way to interpret any particular card?
Well, I'll tell you. And most people that read cards are somewhat intuitive.
Yeah,
You don't necessarily have to be overly intuitive to use this method, because what you feel is right in your intuition, you should be able to see that in the card.
right, okay.
And because it's such a large reading, it's 42 cards, 7 lines in each one of them. So 7 cards in the past. You read it like a story.
No, I do remember that, I can't remember which book was, but there's different layouts for card reading,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, there is. There's tons of them out there. I started reading Celtic Cross. You're
Mhm.
probably familiar with that one.
Mhm.
It didn't satisfy me.
Right.
Didn't give me the information that I wanted. When it tells you a story, it's a story all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, there can be isolated incidences of things, but there's a story
Right,
in the cards.
right. No, I do know that people that I've met, some people like to read the cards that have angels on them because they relate to them.
Mhm.
Some people like to read cards that are about with the animals, because then they can
Yes,
relate
yeah,
that to
yeah.
that, right?
Although I've never tried that.
Right.
And I'm going animals, you know.
Well, it's just I had a niece who was very strongly connected to animals for some reason, and she could just pick up by a card on an animal, like you read for you by looking at these animals for whatever reason. So she was able to get these messages or whatever you want to call it, through the animals, which is pretty awesome. So I'm just, I know that there's different things for different people. But
I've seen some pretty strange readings on YouTube, and I watched quite a few just recently, and they put cards in a triangle, and then they take a different deck and they put more cards out, and they make it look so difficult that no one would ever want to learn it. So, but this one is easy.
Yeah, what I like is, as you said, it's a step by step for anybody who just wants to do it, has never done it.
First of all, you start out with 3 lines: the past, the present, and the future.
Right.
And then when you get good at it, you add 3 more lines. And one of the lines is the outer influences line. Now, the outer influences can tell you a lot about what's going on that you don't know is going on. It could be people that you don't even know are going to affect the way your decisions are being made. And you should know, it gives you a hint as what you should be watching for.
Yeah.
And that's an intriguing line.
I bet, yeah.
Spirits show up in those lines.
Cool.
Quite often spirits of people that have passed.
Right. Yes, for sure. Was there anybody in your life that also did readings like your?
Apparently my grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Although I never knew that. And my dad, when he figured out what was going on, that I was doing this, he said, Grandma used to do it, his mother.
Yes, right.
And, but then the arts only happen one person in every generation of our family, and I'm it. So maybe this is it too. And it was her,
right,
with singing, music, and cards, and Dad. Oh, beautiful, beautiful voice.
I resent that. I have no voice. So,
And I did win a singing contest.
Did
at Brook
you?
Boy, yeah.
Oh my
It only
gosh.
gave me a free dinner, but I was happy with that.
I forgot to add that Linda is also an artist, by the way, you know, as well as an author and a reader. And now I find out she sings. It's like, oh, where did people get all of this talent? But so many people that I've met, creative people, are multi-talented.
Mhm.
It's just amazing to.
Well, if it helps, I'm terrible with math.
Oh, good. I was
I
good.
could
I was
not-
good at math.
I could not be a bookkeeper if my life depended on it.
Right, yeah.
I bet that job, well, I took it in college and got really good marks as I focused, but I would take two numbers and reverse them.
Yeah. right,
Like
yeah.
59 would come
transpose them.
95.
Yeah, right.
And you can't run a set of books like that.
For me, it's spelling. Oh, that's like the bane of my life is spelling. And people would say, now it's different because we have spell check, but people would say, look it up in the dictionary. And I would say, if you don't know how it's spelled, how the heck do you find it in a dictionary?
Yeah.
Like words that start with PH, for instance.
Oh, yes,
you
or
know?
PS or
Or
whatever,
PS,
yeah.
it's like stupid. Dictionaries are for definitions. But anyway, back to the book. What it says at the bottom here, people, as Linda said, it's a 42 card reading. So it says at the bottom here, a comprehensive 42 card reading. So if you're like, this is really good. And by the way, this is your own artwork on the cover. Yeah. So by the way, I keep saying, by the way, if somebody wanted your book, where would they get it?
Amazon.
All right.
Go to Amazon. It's on amazon.ca.com, UK, everywhere.
So you can either put in your name, Linda Drummond, or you can put Gypsy Tarot Spread.
Yeah, the Gypsy Tarot Spread, they put it in there wrong, but it still comes up with just Gypsy Tarot Spread, so I'm happy.
Okay.
And it's fairly inexpensive. It comes in at less than, for a paperback, for less than $20, which is really inexpensive now.
Yeah.
I don't know when the editors want it put up, but they do. I think they're keeping it low to begin with, to get some copies out there, and then they're. I was really pleased though, that until they had it registered with Amazon, that they sold, and it ended up to be over 15,000 copies worldwide.
What?
Yeah, to bookstores.
That's phenomenal.
Well, there's no other book out there like this.
Yeah, right. That is really phenomenal. By the way, do you still do readings?
Well, I haven't done readings for probably 10, 12 years.
Right, eh?
And it's a grounding thing.
Yes,
The
yeah.
reason, well, you should ask me about that.
Yes,
But
I will.
I stopped because I had an incident where I wasn't grounded and I had some bad spirits come into the room. And I was guarded by 3 beings, guardians. And they reminded me of the ghosts from Casper, the funny ones, the weird ones, not little Casper, but the other ones. And they clowned around for 3 days.
Wow.
Protecting me.
So how do you ground yourself if you hadn't had that experience? Like normally, how would you ground yourself?
I look towards white light and have it surround me and bring it down around me.
Right, because that was one of the things, like I also did readings, not so much tarot. I used to do palmistry, although I did do tarot, but I would get so into it that sometimes it was hard, like when you finished, it was hard to let it all go.
You have to let it go. And that's part of the problem. I don't know that I could read full time now like I used to.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot out of you. It does. You have to learn how. I mean, I would probably only be able to do 1 reading a day, and that would be exhausting. I did one yesterday.
Did you? Yeah.
Last night, yeah, for the first one in 10 years, I bet. But I am going to do a few more. With the agreement that I want to post them on my website, but not with names.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because people like to privacy, right? I mean,
And when you're reading, and this is something, there's 2 big rules. You never tell anybody what has gone on and who. I mean, you can talk in relative terms, but don't be specific about who said that and who did this. And
because that could create
another one
problems.
is you should never, ever, ever predict death.
I agree,
Yeah, the death card doesn't not mean death, it means an ending.
absolutely.
And
I
if
remember. Yeah,
you say death, you can cause a death,
yeah,
and you should never do
I
that.
agree with you 100%.
You've got to be very careful when you're a reader not to suggest something, you know, say,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna happen, or this might happen. Warnings is what I do anyway, so.
Because sometimes people, as if I remember, want specific dates and times, and it's not like that, is it?
Well, this is what this reading does for you. When I'm shuffling the cards for some people, or if somebody's shuffling the cards, I ask them to put an incident into the cards
Mhm.
that happened within the last 6 months.
Okay,
And if it was at the 3-month period, then in the future line, that many cards is 3 months into the future. So I
Oh.
can kind of
right,
get close.
right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's a little bit vague, it's not so much, oh, tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Oh, no,
It's not
no,
like
no,
that,
no, no,
right? That's
no.
not how it works.
No, but then you issue the warnings. You can see a warm up to something that's gonna happen,
Mhm.
and you can change it. You can reroute it. Say, if you're having trouble with the child, it'll show up in the present.
Mm.
It just, a trouble with a child just doesn't happen in the future, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
already
built-
happening. So, but you have a chance to change that and mend it before it gets out of hand.
Right. Now, one of the questions that I remember people would ask, testing, you know, they're always the testers. Well, if you're so good at it, how come you can't win the lottery?
Oh, if I was so good at it, I wouldn't be sitting here with you, Nancy. It's not a question of being good at it. It's not, I don't believe that tarot is not to benefit you.
It's for you to help somebody else.
It's to
Or
help
guide
somebody
them,
else,
yeah.
which is why I did that. I don't want my knowledge gone.
Mhm.
So it's a book now.
Right,
It doesn't matter to me how much money I earn. It's if somebody wants to read it, and maybe 200, 300 years from now, it'll be a very popular book, like, the Rider-Waite Tarot deck
right,
is
yeah.
popular still. Maybe
Yes,
this book.
yeah. Oh, that would that be great, eh? If that,
You never know. It's my legacy anyway.
But I think that's wonderful. So just remind everybody, so if you want to find a book, go to Amazon or any place where you buy the book, I would guess,
Mhm.
right? It would be there. Yeah, I think, no, if they wanted to contact you personally, could they do that?
Sure, and I could guide them that way.
Okay.
Just on Facebook, I'm on Facebook a lot. You know that.
Yeah, well, we both are.
Linda Drummond
Yeah,
is
okay.
my name. Just look it up. And I'm more than happy to help any way that I can. There's a few free tools out there. There's YouTube videos. In case you don't want to read a book,
Yeah.
you can, and I can guide you that direction.
Okay, well, I think we covered everything. Do you think we have?
Yeah,
Okay, well, thanks.
feels good.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for
Thanks,
watching
Nancy.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for watching continuing to watching the show. I hope. No, what am I saying here? Let me start that over, okay? I'm gonna rewind. Thank you for watching. I hope you continue to do so. Take care, everybody, and peace out. Say goodbye, Linda.
Goodbye.